Hi, in this video I want to show you how to create instance data using LinkedDataHub's UI. And with instances I mean instances of RDF classes that are defined in RDF ontologies. And there are two types of classes that LinkedDataHub supports. The built-in classes that come with system ontologies, and then user-defined classes from user-defined ontologies. So let's start by creating an instance of a system built-in system class. If you're authenticated, you just need to click on this create button on the top left here, and you'll see a list of different classes that you can create instances for. So at the top there's container and item. Those are document classes, and we have a separate video on how to create a container. Instance menu item, this is for user-defined classes, and I'll come back to that later. And then at the bottom you see a list of 10 or so built-in classes, such as various forms of SPARQL query, files, charts, data imports, and so on. And I'll show you how to create a new instance of a SPARQL service. And you just need to click on the class that you want to create an instance for, and that will open a new editing mode, a new form in editing mode. And you'll notice that there are two resources in this case. This is the service resource itself, but there's also a document or an item resource. And that is because LinkedDataHub uses a good linked data practice, which says that whenever you have a resource that is an abstract concept or a physical thing that is not a document itself, you should pair it with a document resource. And this is what LinkedDataHub is doing here. So those two resources get created together. They kind of go hand in hand. So let's create a SPARQL service for DBpedia. I need to copy its SPARQL endpoints URL and just fill out the properties here, and that the structure of the form and the properties for these new resources, that depends entirely on the constructors of those classes, and they are defined in the ontologies. Okay, so let's call it DBpedia, and let's use the same for the document. And when you're done filling out the values, you just scroll down and click the save button, and that will create the new instance and persist the data in the triple store behind this application. Okay, so now we've created a new instance of a SPARQL service called DBpedia. And for example, if we go to the SPARQL editor, we can choose it here and then start using it, start running queries against it. As we see the results here. Okay, so now this brings me to the second part, which is about user-defined classes and user-defined ontologies. So I've created this concepts container here, and that is because I've imported the SCOS ontology, and now I want to start creating instances of SCOS concepts. And let's just go quickly to the administrative application and see how SCOS ontology was imported. So if we go to model and ontologies, you see that I've created a new document for SCOS. And if we go to concept, we see that it has a concept constructor. So we can go to the constructor, and LinkedDataHub generates constructors automatically when you import ontologies, but I've modified this a little bit to add the pref label, for example. And then if we go back to ontologies and go to namespace, we can see that it imports this cost vocabulary. So when that is done, when the import is done and you clear the namespace ontology to reload it in memory, that's when the imported classes, those that have constructors, will appear in the end user application of LinkedDataHub, and you can start creating it. And you can do it so by clicking the same create button, but now you choose this generic instance menu item. And again, a similar form opens with 2 resources, but now what you need to do to choose concept as the class you want to create instance for, click on the type, which the value of the type is a type ahead or autocomplete, and you can start typing, and LinkedDataHub will look up classes in your ontologies. Okay, so we see it found concept and concept scheme because those were the classes from the SCOS ontology that had constructors, and we can use them to create new instances. So I just click on concept, and again we have a form that we just need to fill out values for. So in this case I'll just fill in the preferred label. Again, if you want to change the template, add different properties, or change their data types, you need to modify the constructor for the class that you're creating instance for. So in this case, the concept constructor. So I don't know, I'll call my concept Copenhagen, and then I'll use the same for the document here, and then I'll just save the form, and now we have a new SCOS concept called Copenhagen. So I hope now you have a better idea of how to create both built-in and user-defined instances in LinkedDataHub. And just to mention that you can do exactly the same actions as we did in the UI. You can also do them using the command line interface and just script these actions as shell scripts. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy using LinkedDataHub.